Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Bomb Squad.
I'm nervous.
I know. This is our PlayStation podcast, but this time we're throwing away the PlayStation tag because this is just about games. Games in pretty much every sense of the word. My name is Andrew Muggleton, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host Chris Sloan.
Good day to you.
Good day. Now, this is a bit different. We're not going to talk about news. We're not even going to talk about the best game of the year.
We're not even going to see how Lily's adventure's going.
We're not, exactly. We don't have time for that.
No time. We
need to talk about the decade. The last 10 years in gaming.
2010
to 2019.
2019.
It's been a long 10 years. Some could argue it's been 10 years. But a lot has happened in the gaming world. Right, as I say, very special episode here because it's going to kind of be set into almost kind of three parts of it. First of all, I'm going to run through. I spent several evenings over the last couple of weeks writing down pretty much. No, I haven't written down everything I've played in the decade, but I played through everything that I feel I have a bit of a story with or resonates with me in some way, and it's a flipping long list, and it also shows how many games there were in certain years that resonated with myself. I haven't made notes of games you've kind of played, but I'm sure you'll be able to chime in. And a lot of these, I think we have joint memories of and stuff like that. So and then we're going to talk about some kind of honourable mention of games which we think are up there with the very top, but couldn't quite squeeze into our top 10 list. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have our top 10 list, and we're gonna fight. We're going to have them fight.
My top 10 will fight your top 10, and we'll see which game is the best game of the decade.
Exactly. And there will be only one.
There can be only one.
Yeah. Spoilers, it's Final Fantasy 13.
Thanks for listening to Bomb Squad.
Yeah. But let's kick it off with 2010. We need to go back 10 years. 2010, first year of this decade in gaming. And there's a lot of good games. We are back in the PlayStation 3 era at this point. So I've got on here Red Dead Redemption 1. Obviously a huge game for Rockstar. I never actually finished it. I know what happens at the end. I know it's pretty grim.
Awesome ending. Yeah.
It's awesome, but pretty dark. Amazing game, obviously, for the time. I've also got here God of War 3, which was the first God of War that I played. So over the top. Heavy Rain, which I know is a game we played a lot of together, and I still remember. There's so many of these games spark little nostalgic moments of. I think I don't know, maybe I was at work or something, and I think I was living with you at the time, and I came home, and you had just finished the game, so you played on a bit, and you were about to finish it, and you came downstairs before I came in. You were like, "Can you just wait downstairs for a bit? I'm about to finish the game."
Because I'd got to the point where the reveal had happened of who the murderer, or who the kidnapper or murderer or whatever
the
was.
Origami Killer.
The Origami Killer, that's it. And I just wanted to play. I needed to just play on and finish it. I had to.
Yeah.
And
I had to stay downstairs whilst this happened.
And then so I saw the whole ending, and then I loaded back up the save where you were, and then we played the whole thing again.
Yeah, immediately from there.
Awesome.
We kind of saw where we went different. Such a good game for the time. Amazing. BioShock 2, another game which has such a nostalgic feel to it, even though I think it's my least favourite out of the three core BioShock games. There was kind of a whole AR kind of game that happened with it. I don't know if you remember this, where there was a fake website. People found bottles on beaches with little bits of paper in that said stuff about Big Daddies and stuff.
No, I don't remember.
There was this huge kind of extra game that happened before the release of it, and I remember both of us were like, "Oh, we love BioShock so much. We love it. We're so excited for it." And I think we played it all in one sitting the day we received it.
Probably.
Because I remember finishing the game and the next day being like, I can't really remember the end of the game because I think I was asleep during it. Because I think we just went through the whole thing. It arrived in the morning. We just played through the whole game.
Yeah. You become a big daddy, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. Those were the days. Got WoW Catechism. Cataclysm here, which I think was the last expansion we played together. Obviously, the whole world was transformed.
I lost a good 2 years of this decade, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing that game. Colwind and my pet Strider.
Yeah. Iconic characters.
Awesome.
In the lore of World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy 13, I mean, another game which had the most outrageous amount of hype between us for this game. And I remember defending it for so long, even whilst playing it, and then just kind of being like, I just can't finish it. I can't finish the game. I've just lost interest. I eventually did a year or two later go back and finish the game, and it actually has a surprisingly strong ending. But the rest of the game was too much. It was too different.
Yeah,
I think tried too many things.
The problem I had with it was I really like the organic.
I remember this being a big issue for you.
Like enemies of Final Fantasy games, which is kind of ironic in a way, considering my favourite one is 7.
Yeah.
And a lot of the early stuff in 7, you're fighting robots and stuff, but then a lot of the game you're not.
Yeah.
Whereas 13, every time I saw it and the little bits that I played, it was just like, constant, I'm fighting another robot. And
even the organic things were like robot organic things.
Yeah. I just didn't like the look
connect.
of it. I didn't like the style of it.
Yeah. And I think
a lot of people, and the other thing that annoyed me is a lot of people talk about how good the music in that game is, but I just did not like the battle theme really did not like it.
Yeah. No, I get you. We've got 2033, which I definitely didn't play at that time, but obviously came out then. Metro 2033, that is. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, another game, came out on PSP originally. I played it way, way later than this. Very different from previous Metal Gears with that kind of mission structure. Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I think it's one of the only games that I've wanted to play, been so interested in, and liked playing, but I don't think I've got more than an hour through that game. And I've tried it about 3 or 4 times because I make sure I turn off the lights and I put the headphones on, as you should, and I just can't do it. It's too freaky.
It's the door controls that I just couldn't do.
Yes, it's like you click to grab the door and then pull them back and forward. And
no, thank you.
Monsters running after you. Ugh, horrible.
No, thank you, sir.
No, thank you. Fallout New Vegas, what a lot of people consider arguably the best Fallout. I put a lot of time into that. I never actually finished it, but I remember thinking, having already played Fallout 3 and loving it, I remember playing New Vegas and actually being astounded at being like, whoa, this is really, really interesting, the story and the characters and what was happening as like the actual big story. Pac-Man Championship Edition DX.
Awesome game.
Such a cool game. Crazy music, crazy visuals, just a lot of fun. I'd be remiss to ever not put a list of a Gran Turismo on there. Gran Turismo 5 was the first proper Gran Turismo on PS3. And I mean, we played a lot of it.
Yeah.
We played literally hours and hours, like.
Well, I know we played it. I know we played at least 48 hours of it.
Yes, doing 2 24-hour Le Mans races in real time. Amazing. And then, another game on here, which I will mention later on, is StarCraft 2, because it took 12 years to wait for that game. And it was a long 12 years to wait. And it was I loved it when it came out. Do you know if there's anything that you would have mentioned? Was there anything that you... No, don't worry.
No, I don't think so.
2011, moving swiftly on to the next year. Mass Effect 2. Again, one of my favourite games of all time. I didn't even play Mass Effect 1. I still loved Mass Effect 2. Fantastic game. Little Big Planet 2. This was a year of sequels, if you can see the numbers.
Yeah.
A lot of sequels. Little Big Planet 2, again, just took everything that Little Big Planet 1 did and just made it better, in my opinion. Dead Space 2 was really good. Don't think it... My memory is that I didn't quite like it as much as Dead Space 1.
I think it all just got a bit more everything you're expecting.
Yes, and it got bigger.
It had the worst death scene of any game ever.
Is that the eye?
Yeah, I think it's the eye one. I think that's Dead Space 2, isn't it?
I think so.
Where he's like, he has to inject something into his iris.
Yeah,
but then if you do it wrong, it
messes up your eye. Horrible. Killzone 3 came out to kind of end this. We're getting toward the end of the console generation here. Portal 2, which I know people love, as did I, loved playing it through. LA Noire, Press X to Doubt.
Doubt.
We're like
2011. Can't believe it's that long ago.
Yeah. Infamous 2, which again, I think I kind of have a bit more of a love for Infamous 1, but I think Infamous 2 is probably like a better game. I think it does things
crazy
better.
at the end.
Yeah,
it gets nuts.
That you can be like, oh, you saved the world, or you can just
you go around and like destroy everything. Can't you?
Yeah. Big difference in the endings there. Resistance 3, which it was the first Resistance I played, and had this artwork by Ollie Moss, which kind of drew me in. It was such a cool artwork for the game. And the story was really cool. The weapons are mental, a lot of fun, very cool game. Would love to see a new Resistance. Eco and Shadow of the Colossus were remastered for PS3. So that was the first time I played through them, and had my infamous biting the controller moment with Shadow of the Colossus on the big flying Colossus. And I bit my controller in anger and threw it across the floor. In pure anger at the controls.
Wasn't it a white one as well? It was like a nice. I remember being like a nice.
Yeah, it was a
controller.
really nice white controller. Got lovely bite marks in the top of it. I've written down here Battlefield 3.
Why?
Because of a nostalgic little moment. I remember. So we used to live with a friend called Ben. This was one of the first times like Battlefield was kind of. It was the first Frost Engine 2 game, and it was like, right, this is going to beat Call of Duty. So it was kind of like, ooh, who's going to win, Battlefield or Call of Duty with the holiday sales?
It was Call of Duty.
It was Call of Duty, yeah, it was. But I remember we went on the midnight launch to go get it, and Ben bought the game and came back. And I remember playing it. I was like, this is so good looking as a game.
Yeah, they always look great.
Yeah, unbelievable. Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception.
Nice.
I remember that coming out and us playing through that. Very good game.
Oh, yeah.
It is a great game. Really great.
For sure.
And To the Moon, a funny little one.
Love To the Moon.
Yeah, which I think you told me about.
Yeah, I think I saw someone like stream part of it or something. Really cool.
Yeah, kind
like
of
narrative based.
Yeah, very narrative based. Kind of.
Can't remember what the actual gameplay was of it. Was there?
It's They forgot the graphics in the game. They forgot to do graphics.
Yeah, they did forget to put them in.
Yeah, which is a shame. But I can't remember either. I just remember being really sad at the end.
Yeah,
like ridiculous.
I think there's like sequels as well, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there's 2 or 3 sequels now. And then I'd be remiss to not mention 2011 Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
What's that one?
It's this small indie RPG.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
might have to look that up. Huh?
Yeah. Apparently, there's dragons and stuff in it. A lot of hours playing.
Is there like
game.
one specific platform I can play it on, or is it on lots of different ones now?
Yeah. You can actually play it if you buy the Sun newspaper. You can actually play it in there. They've actually ported it to that. Yeah, pretty much anywhere you can play that game now. So we will move on to 2012.
Nice.
We've got here the birth of the walking simulator with Dear Esther. I think widely regarded as one of the first like proper walking simulators, where there was just nothing to do but listen to a story, basically.
I love the bit where you can like look up and see the ghost
on the
so
cliff.
Cool.
Yeah,
really creepy.
Yeah, really. And there's loads of writing in a cave at one point where I remember us just walking around like, what does it all mean?
Probably nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Probably nothing. We had the end of the Mass Effect trilogy. Mass Effect 3 was amazing. One of the best games of all time. I enjoyed the ending. I didn't care that it didn't.
Which colour did you pick for your ending?
I think blue. Like,
I have no love for Mass Effect. I'm sorry.
I think the end of my game, like the world got destroyed. It's like that's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, and then do you remember at the end of 3 where Shepard like dies? Yeah. But then the very end, he actually like he's kind of still alive.
Yeah.
And then they just left him.
So sad.
They did Andromeda, and they're like, to be honest, I'm assuming that they didn't bring Shepard back for Andromeda.
I'm pretty sure they didn't. Didn't.
Yeah.
You would like Mass Effect.
I probably would.
You would.
I did play a bit of 2.
Yeah, that's 100%. Journey.
Woo!
That was a small game that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, awesome.
Actually, no, they built up with Flower and things like that. Amazing.
Many
game.
people's game of 2012.
Yeah, a lot of people's. And there are some other good games on here.
There's a lot of good games. 2012 was a good year, wasn't it?
I think there are better years that we're going to go through, but we'll see. So there was also Gravity Rush on the Vita.
Yeah. The last big game on the Vita.
R.I.P. Cool game, cool idea as well.
It just hurt my brain a bit, those sort of games.
Yeah,
I can't play port or say anything like that.
Yeah, I think there's something, spoilers, I think there's something about Gravity Rush where, like, if you do just jump off the side of the building, there is actually a world underneath, and there's a moment where, like, in the game you realise that was something. Like, you can actually just jump off the side, and I think there's a whole world.
Yeah,
underneath.
that rings a bell.
Yeah. Spec Ops: The Line.
Sick game.
Did you play through it?
I think I played. No, I think I played. I definitely have played a fair bit of it, but I don't know. I don't know that game. I know where it goes. Though.
Yeah, the ending. Woo boy, it's so messed up. Really cool story and stuff. The Walking Dead season 1.
Yeah, really strong as well.
So we played. I'm pretty sure we played that pretty much all together, didn't we?
I think we did.
Yeah. Another little random game here. Do you remember Papo and Yo?
Yeah.
Fundamentally, it was a pretty broken game gameplay-wise. But again, really affecting story of, like, I think it was a parent's alcoholism?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
A dad, kind of an abusive father. Cool just idea, and I miss those kind of things, which hopefully we'll get more of in the future. But yeah, struck a chord. Not personally for myself, but not in the slightest. But it was cool. Borderlands 2, I know not your cup of tea, but for me I really enjoyed Borderlands 1, and Borderlands 2 was one where I was like, whoa, this is now actually working in a proper way. Borderlands 1 was kind of messy. Borderlands 2 was everything that I think they wanted to try and do with the game. Little Big Planet Vita. Big year for the Vita here. I remember playing through this whole game and thinking, this is so perfect for this.
It's like
platform.
what the Vita was about, wasn't it?
Exactly. It used all of the gimmicky things in a good way as well.
Yeah.
Great game. Dishonored, another very cool new IP, which, again, that was another game I think we played through pretty much the whole thing, and has some pretty wacky endings and stuff. Very cool game, very cool. Very cool art style as well. The Unfinished One. This is again the year of the kind of, in quote, indies, aka smaller games. Amazing design.
Yeah,
for that.
Incredible.
So the whole game's white, and you just chuck out paintballs, and as the paint hits the thing, you can then see it in a 3-dimensional way. Nice little story as well.
Yeah.
Again, the Vita. Long live the Vita. Zero Escape: Virtue's Last Reward. That's a game which you played through, told me to play, and I was like a bit reluctant, and then eventually there was a day I was like, I've got nothing to do, because I was living in Bradford at this time.
Yeah.
I started playing it, and then within like 3 days, I think all I did was play that game.
Well, I started playing it, and I think I played it in 2 sittings.
Yeah.
Like, I stayed up until like 8 a.m. on it, because I don't think I was working at the time, and I literally just like, I stayed up with the Vita just playing, and I was like, I might just stay up. Also, my first platinum trophy.
Yeah.
So, special place in my heart.
Definitely. Wild endings. Really wild.
Yeah. And when you get like your first ending and you're like, what the F?
Yeah.
Really
and then you get your 10th ending and you're still, what the F?
Super worth. Also, I know obviously it's totally out of order the way that we played it, because it's, that's technically the second of 3 games.
Yeah. Yes.
Totally worth playing the Nonary games and Zero Time Dilemma as well.
Yeah.
Really good series.
Yeah. Is the first one 999?
Yeah.
9 lives.
Yeah. But I think the Nonary games might be a collection of.
Yes, it's the collection of
999 and Virtue's Last Reward. Yeah. I'm sure there will be a collection with all 3 soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We also had Hitman Absolution, which for me, it wasn't as good as other Hitmen that have come before. But, and again, this is a funny thing to bring up, the trailers for that game were so on point. They were like kind of showing you like what your costumes are going to be or what things, but they were always so darkly funny. And there's always that moment at the beginning of the game where there's a guy who's like, oh yeah, you're like walking along a windowsill or something.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, it's so great. I've got the all clear for my cancer or something. And my wife's going to be so happy. And you just like pull him out the window. He's like,
Well, it's the one, I can't remember if it's a Hitman game or not, where it's like, he's like on the phone. He's like, yeah, no, my wife just called it. We're going to have a boy. I can't wait. Like, I've just got this last day of my job here to do. And then I'll be home and I can see her. And then you just chuck him off a cliff.
Yeah. Classic.
So dark.
Classic. PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale.
Oh, boy.
I'd be remiss not to mention it here.
I like that game.
Same. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was just I don't know. You just can't go really against Smash.
That's the problem.
In such a direct way.
Yeah, because it literally was Smash.
Yeah, but it was
There's some cool stuff in it.
Yeah, it was just cool seeing a load of other PlayStation people in there. Far Cry 3, that came out there. That was obviously the time that Far Cry really got big, was with that game. And then another game, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
Now, no matter what anyone says later on in the podcast, that's the best game.
Yes, exactly. That is officially the winner.
I just want a remaster of it. I'm at the point now where I'm like, we probably won't get Kingdoms of Amalur Revengeance, Kingdoms of Amalur Zero Dawn, or anything like that. But I just hope we get a remaster. I just want to play that game. I just want to play that game again. I just want to do that boss fight against that Cyclops where you end up like pulling its eye out.
I never even flipping saw that.
So cool.
I missed that part of the game.
What a great game.
Yeah, really cool game. It had a function where you could make your own weapons. And anything like that is cool.
Yeah, and it was all like a preset. So it was like, it was either a longsword or daggers, or in what we ended up using a lot was the chakrans.
Yes, they were so cool.
But what was so great about them was obviously you could like make them out of this type of metal, but you could imbibe with this type of magic to improve certain things, or have like poison damage or anything. But when you finish creating it, you could edit the name.
You could name
of the weapon.
Yeah,
and how awesome is that? And you could literally write whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And it would just come up in your inventory as that. And I think you could do that for like armor and stuff as well.
Pretty sure.
So obviously we gave it very immature names because we were,
of course,
about 20.
Yeah. Love that game so much.
Awesome. Please,
I think
whoever's got it,
THQ Nordic own
just remaster it.
There is, I know I have seen some small rumours somewhere floating about.
It's probably it's not big enough though. That's the thing. I don't think they'll really make much money on it.
Please,
love that game.
One day, please. If I win the lottery, I'll do it. Moving to 2013 now. Now, I think this is the year the PS4 launched. So it's a launch year.
Big year.
And what that also means, it's the last year of the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, which means you're getting all the best games. Because that's what happens in the last year of the consoles.
But do you get the best game?
We'll find out. So there are things like Metro Last Light, building on Metro 33 and just getting, in my mind, even better.
It's like building on Metro 33 and thinking, Metro 2033 and going, Aliens,
exactly.
Aliens.
It also increasing the amount of people you fight.
Yeah,
as well.
True.
Some good, big, long people levels in there.
Awesome stuff.
So,
Nazis and commies.
Yeah, love
kill them all.
Kill them all. RTM. A couple of other games. The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a small game that came out that year. That will no doubt be talked about a lot more later on. Max Payne 3, which is Rockstar's, with that health song in it.
So cool.
So cool. I'm so annoyed it didn't resonate or sell as well as it should have done, because the style of that game, it like goes into like a weird like chromatic-y way sometimes, and it's just such a cool game. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Do you remember that?
You played that, yeah?
Yeah. I think we played it together.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Because don't you need to have two controllers?
No, you can. It's both.
Oh, is it played
analog
one?
sticks?
Oh, that's it.
Each analog stick controls a brother.
You're right. Sorry. Yes. I think
until towards the end when only one analog stick.
Shh, spoilers.
What a flipping dark game.
Yeah. Very dark.
Because you start off and it's like, oh, it's this nice game, and then it's
a little bit fantastical, isn't it?
Yeah. And then just like shit hits the fan. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Horrible. Why am I being made to feel this way?
Yeah. Papers, Please. Lucas Pope's first game.
Yeah.
Super cool idea. Kind of border control guy. Gone Home, which was our previous game of the year that year somehow.
Yeah. Well, it's 2013.
I understand why. To be fair, it was a lot of people's game of the year.
Oh yeah. Really cool.
Very cool game. Another game, GTA 5. Wow, what a small game.
Still selling like shit.
Yeah. Still constantly up there.
7 years later.
Yeah, amazing.
Insane.
Beyond Two Souls, which I famously wrote a review for and says, next gen, we don't even need it because of how good it looked at the time.
It did look good.
It was a good looking game.
It did look good. It's a good game.
That game goes places. It's wild. Assassin's Creed 4.
Black Flag.
Yep, both generations. You could get it on both, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. It came
Yeah.
out a bit before.
Yeah.
The PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out, but
I played it on PS4, I believe.
I played it on PS3
Interesting.
because I was still super into Assassin's Creed at the time.
Yeah.
I saw Assassin's Creed 3 and I thought, no, this is just a blip.
This is just a blip.
This is just a minor blip.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 4 comes out, bang!
Bam.
Awesome.
Yeah, for
Great
sure. I loved that game as well. I thought it was fantastic.
Best one. Having not played the more recent ones because don't want to.
Yeah. Potentially, yeah. Maybe. Couple of other games. Diablo 3 came out the year. That didn't sell very well. Hotline Miami. Wicked. Such a cool game. I've said that about a lot of games, but that's why this list is so big, because there's a lot of cool games out there. Bioshock Infinite and Burial at Sea, Part 1 and 2, the DLC of it. That will be talked about more. And then we get into kind of next-gen games. Killzone Shadowfall.
Oh, yeah.
The kind of, PS4 Killzone at launch. Tearaway. The Vita still lives.
Yeah, just about.
Just the one game here. Was a very fun game.
Last game that Media Molecule put out.
Yes, exactly.
2013.
Yeah. Thomas Was Alone as well, which is another quite inventive.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool game.
Funny. That was one of those games which was actually genuinely quite funny as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's because everything was just all the characters were just blocks.
Yeah,
but they were all
colourful
given
blocks.
Specific personalities.
Yeah, yes, he had the long.
Is Stephen Merchant?
I think
reading it. Or...
There's another. I don't. Because Stephen Merchant, who's the guy in Portal 2? Is that Stephen Merchant?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's not
right.
him. It's
somebody. He sounds really similar.
Yeah. Very funny. Yeah, very funny
Thomas
characters.
Was alone.
So that is 2013. That is a hell of a year.
That's a good year.
Yeah. 2014. Don't Starve. I played so much of that game on PS4. I loved it. I loved abusing myself with it, basically.
Meh.
Don't you dare met any of these games, okay?
I probably will.
Threes. Okay.
Never played that.
Threes is the best mobile game that's ever come out.
That's like saying this poo that I ate was the best poo I ever ate.
Naivety in that comment. Hearthstone came out.
That
this
is
year,
the best mobile game ever made.
but it's a PC game.
Yeah, but
Come now. Hearthstone came out. Towerfall of Ascension, fantastic multiplayer game. Metal Gear Solid 5. This is such a long year for me in terms of games. I don't think it reached the heights of the year before, but it's still good. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Wow. Okay, so yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes came out. PT also came out that year,
no way.
which is wild to think that PT came out before Phantom Main.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So you must have. What? That's so crazy to think.
What are you doing, Hideo?
Yeah, crazy. We should have seen the writing on the wall. Infamous Second Son on the PS4. Monument Valley. Okay, that could also be an argument for best mobile game, I think.
Yeah.
Very cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hitman Go. Platinum. Sports Friends. Another great multiplayer game. Wolfenstein: The New Order. Wolfenstein's back.
Awesome game.
It's back and it's brilliant. Watch Dogs. Now this is on this list not because I like the game, but because I hated it so much. But it's still worth talking about.
Yeah, it's one of them where it's like,
it was a moment in gaming because
Yeah.
it was I believe at the E3, like before the consoles were out, it was the game which was like they were like for next gen consoles. And everyone was like, oh, what?
Yeah,
You
it
just
suffered
announced
so
the
much from
next-gen
that.
console. And it looked incredible in its first trailer, and then it didn't look quite as good. Valiant Hearts: The Great War. Really nice little game. Quite sad as well. Goddess. Brackets. Curiosity. What's inside the cube?
Goddess was lame. Curiosity was so cool.
Curiosity. What a way to hype people up.
Yeah.
So if you don't remember, it was a mobile game, and it was basically just a giant green cube. Or was it brown?
I think the background was green and
Okay. So there was a giant cube, and you could zoom way in, and then when you tap, that cube is made up of literally billions of other cubes, and you tap on the cubes and you destroy it, and you basically show the layer beneath it.
Yeah.
And the cube got smaller and smaller, and basically everyone in the world is playing at the same time and is all chipping away. And then what was meant to happen was in the middle, Peter Molyneux was like, "Oh, there's the greatest thing on the planet. You can't even imagine about how good this is." And then it turned out the person who did the last click was the god in the game that was then going to come out later, aka Goddess. Such a hype level.
Yeah, he's just a hype man, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Mini Metro, another one of my favourite mobile games. Fantastic. Minecraft for PS4 came out. Now, that Minecraft, you may actually notice, actually came out in 2011, I think, properly. But for me, the first time we could play it was on PS4. So Minecraft, so many hours spent in that game. Destiny, another similar to kind of Watch Dogs kind of.
Yeah.
So excited before.
I was so hyped for this game.
I even had, I think the collector's edition, which came with, what are they called? The
Ghosts?
Ghosts? Are they the triangle?
Peter Dinklage thing.
Yeah. Had it came with one of those. Had it ready, pre-ordered, and then cancelled it. And I just, I'm still not quite over the disappointment of that, I think.
Yeah, do you know what? No matter how many times people tell me Destiny 2 is great, I'm like, no.
I'm not gonna
I will not play it.
Drive Club came out, another infamous game. Still to this day is one of the best looking games I've seen, with the best implementation of rain I've ever seen, but was basically closed a studio because of how bad the online side of it worked. You needed to be online for it. Well, that's what you had to do to play the game. Spelunky came out, another game which took, I think it may have actually come out again earlier on PC, took the world by storm, it seems. Everyone was talking about it. I wasn't huge into it, but it was a talking point. The Unfinished Swan is back on here again. I don't know why. Probably when it came out on PS4. I probably saw it on the list and was like, oh, I'm going to mention it again. Don't know why. We'll delete that off there, actually, because that's not when it came out. Far Cry 4 came out, which to me was good, but I just didn't like it anywhere near enough compared to Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
I was basically, this was 3.5 to me in my head. Tales from the Borderlands, which is one of the only games which has made me audibly laugh out loud at moments, with like the bro fisting, with the
and the gunfight.
Oh, the fake gunfight in the office, so good. Also Fez, which again that came out way earlier on Xbox, and PT, as already mentioned. Moving to 2015, we've got the Order 1886, another over-promise, under-deliver game, but my goodness, was it good looking. And I actually found out, I found out something recently about this. I don't know if you did you play through it?
Nope.
No, okay.
I saw a lot of it.
Yeah. So the whole time when you're playing the game, it has black bars as if it's like a film. And what I found out was that there's a reason for that, and it's not just to make it cinematic. The reason why the game looked so much better is because it had less of a screen to push out, because the black bar is basically taking up like 10% of the screen, so it only has to push out as many pixels.
Interesting.
And I only found out this recently, and that was why it looked so good and why it still holds up so well now. A fascinating reason. We also had Hotline Miami 2, Wrong Number, sequel to Hotline Miami. Bloodborne, which is a game everybody loves, and I also love, but have not got very far in it at all. But I just understand why people love it, but I'm just not good enough. I can't get good. Life is Strange 1.
Awesome.
Do we call it 1? Is that what we call it?
Just Life is Strange.
Just Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Came out.
Love that game.
Yeah. Her Story, another game we both love. Rocket League, which, if you may remember, launched as a PS Plus free game.
I was in there quite early.
Yeah.
To be honest,
you have the platinum.
I've got the platinum trophy.
Yeah. Good game. Vanishing of Ethan Carter, really, really cool game. Again, back in the kind of walking simulator vein. A little bit longer and a little bit more involved with puzzles and things. But a nice twist at the end of the story, from what I can remember.
I don't remember. Oh no, I do remember actually.
You remember
I do
picture?
remember.
Yeah. This was another good year for these type of games. Everybody's gone for the Rapture. Again, another amazing atmosphere game. Some really sad moments. Until Dawn. Really, really fun idea. Kind of that campy horror side of things. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So many years of hype waiting for that. Divinity Original Sin as well, which we've both played bits of, and I think both another one of those games. Even if we never go back to it, I think we can both appreciate that we think it's amazing.
It's so punishing.
Yeah. Fallout 4, another huge game in that year. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, not a very interesting one. Soma as well, another wicked story game. 2016, right, we are 16, 17, 18, 19. We're well over halfway of the decade here. Long year here. Oxenfree. Very fun. Very cool. Weird, very weird.
Yeah.
The Witness.
Boring.
Love it. Amazing.
Super boring.
Amazing. Firewatch. I love it.
Cocktease.
Cocktease.
I think I said that a while ago.
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank for PS4. So good. Like a really good remake. Hitman, as in the first season of Hitman. Lost a pen lid. Uncharted 4, Thief's End. Nate's back.
Wait, I've just thought of a game we can play with this.
Yeah.
You say the game, and then we have to say a word that comes to our mind.
Okay. I like this. Okay. Uncharted 4, Thief's End.
Troy Baker.
Okay. Doom.
Chainsaw.
Overwatch.
I'm already traced to...
Mercy.
Pokemon
Go.
Incredible.
I wouldn't have expected that.
I just like the whole... No game, arguably until like Fortnite, has affected the world the way that...
True. I totally understand it, but I think I played it like once. I never played it really properly. Yeah,
love that game.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm just too much of a contrarian. Tricky Towers.
Hate the puzzle mode. Hate it.
Overcooked.
Trolling.
I hate you. I don't like playing this game now because there's going to be games that I like.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky.
Shit.
Inside.
I'm gonna embarrassed that I haven't played it.
Ooh, interesting. Virginia.
Yeah. Another one of them.
Yeah. Job Simulator.
Fun idea.
Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Second best VR game.
Res Infinite.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Have no opinion.
Titanfall 2.
Yeah, good. Good game.
Yeah, good.
Good game.
Final Fantasy 15.
I like it. I like it.
Shoulders up. The Last Guardian.
I didn't play it. I don't want to say
decades of
yeah, I don't want to say
time.
anything about that game.
Stardew Valley.
Oh, awesome. Farm boy.
2017. Resident Evil 7.
I don't want to play it.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
The word that I'm gonna use is promising, because I think that I reckon Horizon is like the most promising IP, new IP from like the last maybe from the decade.
Wow,
that's a big claim.
That is that needs more thought put into it.
But I'm gonna sound.
I like it. Prey.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
I
like these answers where you have no real when
I haven't even touched the game. The villain's funny.
Yeah, End Cortex.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 12: The Zodiac Age.
# second best Final Fantasy.
Interesting. Behind 9. Undertale.
Hilarious. Funniest game ever.
Fortnite.
Hashtag. What's that fucking dance? Oh shit. Flossing. Hashtag I'm gonna floss.
Gran Turismo Sport.
Damp squib.
Wow.
Just like why?
Just why?
Just why?
At this point, there wasn't a Gran Turismo on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but like, why not just make Gran Turismo 6?
True. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Me likey kill Nazi.
Me likey kill Nazi. Near Automata.
Weeb.
Weeb.
Some weeb shit.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Senua's on it off a rocker again.
Oh, poor Senua. Senua. Right, 2018. We're getting close. Celeste.
Wait, did we do 2017?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Why?
Don't worry.
Remember, there's going to be loads of things that I'm missing that
play,
I
was like, no. Man. Celeste.
What did I miss from 2017 that you...
I just would have thought you'd have put like Breath of the Wild on there. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because you put things like fucking Battlefield 3 on there.
Yeah, but I played it. I physically played it. I didn't put any games I actually haven't touched.
Fair play.
Celeste.
Strawberries. Give me strawberries.
Give me them strawberries. Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Give me them hairy climbs.
Bite the controller. Hairy climbs is true. Moss.
Cute game. Cute.
I don't know where Beat Saber got lost.
Well, because that's when I said for
best VR game.
Yeah, best VR game is Beat Saber, hands down.
Where does Astro Bot go?
Third,
interesting.
Yeah.
Beat Saber 2018 or 2017?
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, Moss, good.
Cute.
A Way Out.
Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
Nice. God of War 2018.
Boy.
Detroit: Become Human.
What's the one who's the like revolutionary one?
Crap. Connor?
No, Connor's the
police guy. Actually, Connor was really good by the end. You hated him at the beginning, but I thought his story was great.
What's the one who's the... Anyway, the actor's in Grey's Anatomy.
Is he?
Grey's Anatomy.
Well, you are a big fan of that show. Unravel 2.
Didn't play it. Fuck it, I don't care.
Dead Cells.
Didn't play that
either. Spider-Man.
The bad guy was Doc Ock the whole time. Big shock.
Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Third best VR game.
Have you finished it?
No.
You need to finish it. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Dutch.
Decine.
I don't care.
Hitman 2.
Kathmandu.
Hitman 2. Kathmandu. 10 out of 10. Return of the Obra Dinn. Tetris Effect.
Poor Man's Pac-Man Ultimate Edition.
Get out of this podcast! 2019, Resident Evil 2.
Remake.
Apex Legends.
Fortnite.
Grindstone.
Android.
No. A Plague Tale Innocence.
Rats.
Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
Mario Kart.
Telling Lies.
Johnny, yes, Papa.
Control.
Man character. She looks like a man.
Death Stranding.
Metal Gear Solid 6.
Metro Exodus.
Russian aliens. We got it.
Russian Aid. We did it. That is
We got through that.
my games of the decade.
Incredible.
One of those is the best.
Whew.
But first of all, let's just pause for a second because I need to get some water. Okay, now that my mouth is feeling refreshed,
You've moistened.
I've moistened. We have run through pretty much, I would say 90% of the games I played this decade. Obviously, you will have played other ones as well, including such small titles as Dragon Age Inquisition and Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Those are the only other two. No, those are the only other two games
just
you
those
played. Actually, those are the only two games you've played this decade, which is interesting.
Wow.
What we're going to do now is, I think we both have a list of 10 of our favourite games. Mine have all been mentioned. A couple of them haven't been mentioned by Chris for his ones. But we've got 5 games that we just wanted to pick out as like these fought hard and brave to get into our list, but they didn't quite make the top 10.
Yeah.
I'll kick it off. I'll try and do mine in chronological order. So
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I am.
Okay.
Because I'm clever. I have here StarCraft 2, which for me was StarCraft 1 came out back in 1998. It was one of my favourite games growing up. Before I even had a PlayStation, I'd play it on my sister's Mac, and then I had an iMac G3, which I actually have in my bedroom right now. Used to play it on that. I loved it. I love RTSs. I loved Warcraft 2. StarCraft kind of captured me for just a slightly more engrossing story than Warcraft, because it did come out after as well, so maybe a bit better at doing it. And then desperately waiting for a sequel. And then 12 years later, they were like, yeah, we're going to make a sequel. And it's going to be 3 games. We're going to split the campaign into 3 different games. And I thought it was fantastic. They changed it up well enough to not just be just an RTS. It had kind of hero missions yet to go do. I loved it, and I thought it was well worth the wait. Do you want to do one?
You want to do me? I thought you said you were going to do yours like in order.
Fine. Okay,
I didn't know if you managed to see all 5 of yours.
Oh, yeah, I'll do all 5 of mine. Yeah.
Cool.
So then, next one I've got here is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. We've mentioned it already. It was a kind of interesting-y story. A bit, you are the chosen one.
Yeah.
A bit tropey, kind of. But it was good enough to keep me hooked in. But just the locations, the world, the combat was slightly deep, but just quite arcadey and fun because of that, I think.
Yeah.
I think it worked in a really nice way. If there was a sequel, they could expand on that, definitely. But as we've said, we both loved the kind of looty aspect of it with the weapons and making them. And also, as I just said, the kind of the world that they created there was, for me, amazing. Really cool locations to go to and stuff. So that was excellent. 2013, I had Hotline Miami here. Such a brutal and just cool, very, very cool game in terms of its setting, its music, its visuals, everything. And the story was actually super interesting and really flipped everything that you'd done the entire game on its head in a really good way. And was so fun to play. I've also got on here then, is that 3? Have I done 3?
2.
StarCraft, Kingdoms of Amalur, Hotline Miami. Yeah, so my other 2 are from this year, which was Metro Exodus. As I talked about last week, or last episode, about how I thought it was the combination of both Metro 2033 and Last Light put together and perfected. I cannot talk about how much I like that game in terms of a first-person story shooter. And then the other one is Death Stranding, which just finished this year. I think maybe in a couple of years, and after kind of letting it percolate for a bit longer, it might well have ended up being in my games of the decade, but it was just so close to the end that it's hard to kind of remember it as fondly because there hasn't been that time. But I thought it was an incredible achievement, and I'm so happy that something like that exists in the kind of AAA game world. So those are my 5 honourable mentions.
So my first one that I'm going to mention, I'm going to stick on the Kojima.
Oh yeah, the Kojima train.
Yeah, so Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of people kind of disappointed in it. It's got a huge old story behind it in terms of the fact that it wasn't really finished, and the whole drama with Konami behind the scenes, the Kojima, and how like he was wiped from like the box art.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, but I loved. There were parts in that game that I just thought was so cool.
Yeah,
like when you could just be dropped into an area and say, okay, you got to go and retrieve this dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, just go and do it.
Yeah.
However you want.
Kill everyone, put everyone to sleep.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah, and I just, the freedom to do it. And the fact that you weren't really funneled down any path. Like, yeah, okay, sometimes it was maybe you could get a bit more satisfaction from doing it stealthily, but you could just literally go in with machine guns, just completely tooled up and take out a small army of people and be like, I'm the best.
I remember so many times sitting at the top of a hill and just getting quiet to just snipe out everyone in the compound, and then me just walking in.
When you unlock her tranquilizer sniper, oh my goodness.
Yeah. It felt so good to play as well.
Yeah. Oh, it felt amazing.
Good customization in guns as well, from what I remember.
Yeah, also you have the dog.
Yeah, D-Dog.
D-Dog. Oh, and you get him as a little puppy, and then he grows up again. So cute. Awesome.
One last thing on that.
Yeah.
Sahelanthropus. It's still to this day, the way it moves freaks me out so much, considering it's just a big robot. I found it so freaky the way it moved.
Yeah, it's a cool... It wasn't... I don't think it ended up being that good as a fight.
No, you could...
Because you could just sort of like get out of line of sight and get in a tank. And, I really enjoyed that.
Such a good game.
Next one I want to pick is Horizon. Horizon. Got into my honourable mentions just because, like I said earlier, I thought, what a cool idea. Like, what an amazing idea. The fact that you're fighting... this could easily have been a game set in the past with actual dinosaurs and someone with a bow and arrow, and but the fact that there was the mystery about it, the fact that it's set far in the future, and future of America. Aloy as a character was awesome. Seeing her go on this journey and then discovering who she was and being kind of like an outsider, really cool. And I just think, like I mentioned earlier, that it's the promise of it and the potential is so big.
That sequel, I am so looking forward to, even though the base game was actually so good as well. Yeah,
for sure.
Fantastic world to like just run about in.
Just getting good at all the different types of weapons, because obviously you just there was the bow and arrow, then there was the sort of
like a javelin as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then ones that would set.
But to cast something caster, isn't it? A bolt caster or something, which sets a trap.
Yeah,
like
that was a tripwire. That's it I was thinking. But then also the rope wire, or the rope one, where basically you have flying enemies, and the best way to do it is to hit them with it, and then you pin them down. Then you can go in and attack them. So cool, and like mastering that was such a fun thing to do. There was also one that took off. There was one that was kind of like a semi-automatic thing as well, which I didn't really use that much. Yeah. But there was one that would like pierce armor.
Yeah.
So it was like learning all these different robots and thinking, right, this is where their weak spot is. So taking off that bit of armor with this type of arrow, then swapping out to this one, and just pinging it constantly, then diving into a bush, putting a trap for it. Really cool.
Yeah. It was surprising how, I think you could normally look at that game and go, I just kind of brute my way through, but you really did need to think about what you were doing as well.
Oh, for sure.
Which makes sense considering you're just a tiny little squishy human compared to these robots.
Do you remember those? Do you remember the alligator ones?
Yeah.
Man, I hated those alligator ones.
Yeah.
Cool game.
Beautiful as well.
Something so satisfying. I think probably the most satisfying thing in that game was, do you remember there would always be kind of like the generic ones that look like deer or cows or whatever.
Which weren't even like aggressive to you, were they?
No, I think they would if they'd like run at you, charge at you for certain things, but they'd always have one or two watchers with them, which are just kind of like, imagine like a velociraptor.
Yeah.
But it's got one. It's got this kind of like eye.
Yeah.
That looks around and it sets off like a cone kind of thing. Always so satisfying, just hitting that straight in the eye and killing it in one.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely.
Next game I want to talk about might be the game I played the most last decade.
Ooh.
Might be.
Ooh, okay.
Certainly the game I spent the most money on, which is Hearthstone.
I was like, what game did you spend more than 60 quid on?
By a long shot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so obviously it's a card game based on World of Warcraft, like the World of Warcraft characters and lore.
I spent. There's like, it's hard to describe how good Hearthstone is at its best.
Yeah. Seeing people do the crazy stuff like being able to do infinite damage to something if you got everything set up the right way, and so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like if you like Magic the Gathering and card games like that, this is kind of the ultimate way that an online version of that game could be put across.
Yeah. And what it did, and what I've seen so many other kind of digital card games. It makes it so user friendly in terms of, it's maybe not so user friendly in its monetary ways and stuff like that, but so user friendly in order to get into it, learn it, the basics, and just the way it all looks. It looks very inviting to play and very simple at first, even though there is a lot to it.
I've got two more. So next honorable mention is Undertale.
Yep.
Absolutely hilarious game.
Yeah.
So funny. The writing is some of the best writing that you'll find in anything, arguably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just getting through that now, and
I literally watched you play a little bit earlier, and there's certain things that it does to teach you how to do things, even in the way the combat works. Like there's something that it taught you while you were playing just now, which you will learn and will come back later on.
Yeah.
In the main boss and things like that you don't know that you've just learned.
Yeah,
but
sure.
You know, it's so cool. Yeah. Also, it's got one of the best like villains in a game ever. Not the main villain, but a villain that continuously sort of comes after you.
Yeah.
Probably not the one you're thinking of either.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, really, really great.
Yeah. Good music.
Amazing music. My last honourable mention is a game called Journey.
Nice.
I don't really know what to say about it, really, other than
I have something to say just on it. In that, I had a slightly weird experience with this game. In that, I think it's quite unique. In that, I played through Journey, and the whole way through, you have a secondary character. Well, most of the way through the game, there can be a secondary character with you, who at the end of the game. Spoilers. Turns out that that's someone else playing the game, and the only way you can communicate is by making little chirps. I think most people finish that game, and then what happens is that in the credits you see the names of the various different people that have dropped in and out of your game playing. I only had one person play with me the entire game, and I think I knew that it was someone else when I was playing it. I think I knew that was the thing about it. But I remember finishing, and at the very end, as you're climbing the kind of snowy mountain bit at the end, I was genuinely almost to the edge of tears. And I thought it'd be many different people. And then when I found out it was just one person, I almost broke down. Was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just played this game with one other person the whole way through.
Yeah.
It was incredible moment.
Yeah. Just like, how long is it? A couple of hours long?
Yeah. Like 2.5, 3 maybe.
Yeah. It's really worth playing that game if you can.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to say anything else about it.
No, it's amazing. Right, we move on to the big moment. We are going to pit our top 10 games against each other in a battle royale of some sort.
What we'll do then is we'll reveal our 10 games.
Yeah, in no particular order.
Would
you like to go first?
Sure. So my 10 games are the following. Dragon Age Inquisition. I had to put Dragon Age.
Of course.
If a Dragon Age game comes out, it's up there.
Yeah.
The original Life is Strange.
Yep.
Phenomenal game. I've put Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've put Virtue's Last Rewards.
Of course.
Walking Dead Season 1 from Telltale.
Yep.
I've put Ni no Kuni, which is a game we haven't talked about at all yet.
True.
But the first Ni no Kuni I've got in my list for sure. I have put Arkham City in there. I have put 2018's God of War.
Yep.
I have put The Last of Us.
Yep. Nice.
And I've put Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Hold on a sec. That's not a video game.
It's
okay.
Definitely in my top 10 games of the decade.
Yeah, and I think
for sure.
I think that's fair enough. And I did make sure it had come out this decade, and it has.
2014, 5th edition.
5th edition, which is absolutely. It's going to be really hard arguing against that game. So my top 10, again, in no particular order, are BioShock Infinite. And I think is it fair to wrap Burial in Sea Part 1 and 2 in there?
No.
Fine, we'll wrap up that in there.
Well, if you did, it would just
PS1 and
make
2.
it worse.
My goodness me. Diablo 3, Fez, PT. It's not even a game, it's a teaser. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and its DLC. Soma, Nier Automata, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Return of the Obra Dinn, and Tetris Effects. Damn, what a list of games.
The idea is that we will put Andy's 10 games against my 10 games in rounds.
Yeah, we'll pit them
until we eventually have one game each left. Could potentially not actually come from like mine against yours at the end, could it? Potentially.
True. It could just be, I could be arguing for your game, or you could be arguing for mine.
But
hold on.
But
you say, how can this work fairly?
You were asking for a bludger. Someone to come in.
Yeah.
And a beater on his stick with his rounders back. He's come in and he's smashed that bludger.
Beat my games. Sorry.
Now what we're gonna do is I am gonna look at your list.
Yep. I hate this idea so much.
And I am gonna
fills me with dread.
Immediately delete 2 games from your list.
Yeah.
And you were gonna do the same to my list.
Yeah.
Now to spoil everything for you behind the scenes here, we kind of knew what our lists were coming into this.
Yeah, I didn't know what yours was really, though.
You kind of guessed a lot of it.
Yeah.
We do not know, genuinely don't know, what we are going to delete off each other's list now.
Yeah.
So, I'll hand my list over to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to take your list.
Okay.
And then
we will technically be pausing recording.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to need a minute or so to do this.
I know what I'm doing.
Fine. All right. It's in a sec. Okay, we're back. We have struck off 2 games from each other's lists. I'm so nervous.
Do you want me to tell you yours first, or do you want to go first?
You can tell me mine.
Okay. I have kicked 2 games off from your top 10 games of the last decade.
Yeah.
The first game that I've kicked off your list.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Is Fez. Get that Xbox trash out here, man. Sony forever. Trash.
All right, I think that's fair. I think
I've been very fair with the games that I've kicked off here.
Okay. I think that's fair. I will give a shout out. It's so cool in the way it plays around.
It's very deep.
Very deep. Very cool.
Second game.
Yeah.
That I'm not letting you put into the brackets is Soma.
Oh.
Because you made me fucking play that game.
Oh no,
you bastard. It's revenge for that moment.
It's the most I've ever thought about a story. I still to this day think about that story.
So you cannot bring Fez, you cannot bring Soma.
Trash.
Xbox trash.
I
was thinking of getting rid of The Witcher 3 and Nier Automata, but I thought you might stop recording.
I'd delete the podcast.
No, you got to be very careful here, Andy, because
so
I'll lose my shit.
Right, so I've taken 2 games off your list, and the first one is Virtue's Last Reward.
Oh, fuck you.
I don't want none of that anime shit in here. Okay?
What you want fucking near?
It's not anime. It's not anime. It's fine.
Some weeb ass shit.
Weeb ass shit. I don't really have much justification for getting rid of it, other than
I think it would have been hard to push Virtue's Last Reward further than it could have got.
Yeah. And the other one, so I didn't really have much justification other than sorry, is what I wrote. The other one is, I hope I'm okay in doing this. Dragon Age Inquisition. I'll tell you my reasons. It's not the best in the series.
That's true.
It's true.
It's true.
You can't make the argument that it's the best game of the decade when you know one of the earlier games in it was better. Well, you can technically make that argument, but it's...
Okay. I mean, it was game of the year that it came out. I'll throw that out.
That means nothing.
In the 10 years of the decade,
yeah,
what we're saying is one of the games that was the best game in one of those years isn't in the top 20 games.
Corporate shills voted for that.
Bullshit.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Okay. I just want to, before we get into the next part of this, interesting that we just have glazed over stuff like Skyrim and GTA 5 and some of these games that people would be like. I mean, when we had our friends on last time, they picked GTA 5, they picked Skyrim and The Witness as there.
Yeah.
Interesting that those games, we kind of mentioned them earlier, but not.
I think I definitely have a serious appreciation and love for those games. They just never captured me in the same way as some of these. I think is the reason. And we're always a little bit better than that. A bit more highbrow.
So what we're going to do now,
is
we're going to pick. We've each got 8 games because now it works in a
nice format,
round of
footballing
16,
format,
like that, in that sort of format. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this completely randomly.
Yeah.
So we are going to pause a second from recording. We'll be back instantly for you,
almost instantly.
But we're going to put our games against each other now randomly with the numbers.
Yeah.
We didn't like
So
it'll make sense.
I'm going to number mine 1 to 8 randomly.
Yep.
You're going to put letters next to yours.
Yep.
And then we're going to each
something.
A2, B2, 2B.
Weeb.
And then we're gonna pick them at random from each other.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bye. Okay. Right. We are back. We have 1 to 8. A to H. The way this is going to work, I'm going to pick a letter, then Chris is going to pick a number, and those 2 games will be battling out against each other. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to go with D.
Okay. Now, sorry, I think I've got confused. Do you want me to tell you what D is right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me what D is.
D is The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Season 1.
Okay. So now you're going to pick a number.
I'm going to pick number 1. Okay.
It's Diablo 3.
Okay.
So The Walking Dead Season 1 versus Diablo 3. They are so far away from each other.
Okay.
But this was the point to do this. Okay. Next up, I'm going with A.
A is Life is Strange.
Right, we've got the episodic games out the way.
And I'm going to pick to go up against A. Oh, I need to make a note of what I've already picked, don't I? So I picked 1.
Yeah.
4.
Life is Strange goes up against BioShock Infinite.
Easy win, boys.
Oh boy.
That is going to be horrible. I don't know how we're going to pick. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go on. What did I pick 4?
Yeah. Next up, I'm going to pick C.
C.
Yeah.
Is The Last of Us.
Oh, you better pick a...
I'm going to pick...
I hate whatever this goes up against. I hate it.
I'm trying to think about where you'd put the big
how
guns.
I pick my numbers.
8.
Oh, I'm so sad. It's okay. I think I just know the winner already. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Damn.
That is
Okay.
such a shame. Poor Senua.
Okay, you okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I picked C, did I?
Yeah.
Previously. Okay. H.
Oh, God of War.
Oh boy. Oh my.
Big guns, man. Big.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all big guns. Let's be honest.
Yeah. True.
Up against God of War, I'm gonna pick number 2.
I mean, right. It's God of War 2018 versus The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. My goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
E. Yeah.
Is Arkham City.
Nice. Okay. Arkham City is going to go up against
number 6.
Okay, it's PT.
Oh, the playable teaser.
Yeah. Big. Okay, next. B.
Oh, B. Sorry, I couldn't find it. I
No,
thought I'd
it's
done
right.
something wrong. B is Dungeons and Dragons.
5th edition. Right. What is that? What have I got
Dungeons
left here? Right, I've got
and Dragons.
3 games left.
It's going to go up against 7.
Oh, it's Near Automata. Oh my goodness me. That is going to be one hell of an argument.
Okay. Was that 7? Sorry.
Yeah, so I've done A, B, C, D, E.
So you have got
F and G.
And I've got 3 and 5.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go with G.
G is Red Dead
Oh,
Redemption
boy.
2. And that is going to go up against 3.
Again, you could not get further away. That's against Tetris Effect.
And I think I know what the last battle is then. So the last battle should be F, which is Ni no Kuni.
Yeah.
And that should be against 5, which should be
Return of the Obra Dinn. Wow. Okay. So we'll quickly run through the list one more time. And then that will be it for this episode. We'll be back next episode to really duke it out between these games.
So let's take it into. So the first, we'll do it in this order.
I think we will.
We'll do it in this order. So the first round will be
Ding, ding.
Telltale's Walking Dead Season 1
versus. So you go.
Yes, versus Diablo 3.
In the next round, we'll have Life is Strange versus BioShock Infinite.
After that, you will have The Last of Us versus Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Then we have 2 big boys, God of War versus The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
I'm just looking at the way that the way that these are stacked in terms of the feeding. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
The next round will be Arkham City versus PT.
Oh, I've just realised what you mean. Yeah. Then we've got Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition versus Nier Automata.
Red Dead Redemption 2 will take on Tetris Effect.
And Ni no Kuni will take on Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh my goodness.
My goodness me.
It's going to get brutal.
It is. So that is going to do it for this episode. We've given us a little look back over the last decade of some of our favourite games that we've played, our gaming moments. We've worked out the first round for our game of the decade, and you can look forward to that in the next episode. So I'm pretty sure at this point we're gonna move no bets.
No bets.
That'll be arranged on our first, maybe at the end of next episode.
Maybe in the next episode. Yeah.
Once we work out our games of the decade. As always, you can go to our website www.indreamsclub.com and see everything there. And Chris, where can you find us on Twitter?
You can find us at In Dreams Club. Give us a little follow.
Indeed. We will follow you back.
Certainly will.
Indeed. And that, I think, does it. So thanks for listening, and bye. Uh-huh, honey.